Hi, welcome to Round Robin. I'm Celine Guerrero with the City of Hampton, and today we have a special guest, and it's a very much historical, just like Hampton, but they will be singing a cappella and sharing a little bit about the history of Hampton and the Civil War. And welcome Hugh Harrell of the United States Colored Troops.
Well, thank you so much, Celine. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great. So tell us a little bit about the group itself. It's an a cappella group, and it was formed very recently.
Yes, we're called the United States Colored Troop Ensemble, and we started last year to research and perform music from the Civil War era.
Okay, and can you tell us about the research that's gone into this, as far as you had mentioned that there was an anthology, and that's how you kind of got the idea?
Yes, what I was saying is that, of course, as you know, in 2011, President Barack Obama established Fort Monroe as a national monument.
Right.
And that gave me ideas about various historical programming that could be done there. And I had performed on an anthology when I lived in New York City, created by Harry Belafonte, called Long Road to Freedom. And on that anthology of black music or African music from the diaspora, he had a group of United States Colored Troop songs. And they were so wonderful when I heard them, and it led me to want to find out more about the songs that they sang and that whole era.
Right.
So that was the inspiration. Those two reasons were the inspiration actually for my forming this United States Colored Troop Ensemble.
Yeah. And can you tell us about the history of the United States Colored Troops, as far as, you know, what their role was during the Civil War and how they came to be?
Well, initially, as you probably know, President Abraham Lincoln was reluctant to use enslaved Africans or freedmen to serve in the Union Army. He was concerned about some border states, how they might look at that particularly. But because of General Benjamin Franklin Butler's decision at Fort Monroe in 1861 to allow 3 enslaved Africans who had escaped to Fort Monroe, allowed them to have asylum there. And he called them, of course, Contraband of War. That started a whole series of events because the War Department decided to adopt basically General Butler's policy as a policy of the U.S. Army. Any enslaved Africans who escaped to Union lines were given asylum there and considered contraband of war, since they were considered to be property of the Confederate owners. So in 1863, after the Emancipation Proclamation had been issued, in April, it was either April or May of 1863, the Bureau of Colored Troops was established. And there was a great recruitment effort to bring into the United States Army colored troops.
And there were thousands.
There were thousands. There were 180,000 at least troops of color who fought for the Union. And there were over 175 colored regiments who, after April or May of 1863, were involved in every major battle of the Civil War.
Wow.
So I just like to point out, and I think some historians have said this, that sometimes we think that we were, our ancestors were freed, but actually they freed themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good thing to keep in mind as far as like historical accuracy. Another thing that I do want to go back to the group itself. How many members are part of the group?
Right now, we have 6 members
Okay.
of the United States Color Troupe Ensemble. And we're looking to have probably 12
Okay.
members. We have first tenors, second tenors, baritones, and basses. So if anyone is interested in joining us, please contact me.
Okay.
You can reach me at area code 757-826-6437, or you can go on my email, which is wyanoke@wyanoke.org. That's WEYAN as in Nancy, OKE, wyanoke@wyanoke.org.
And tell us about the Wyanoke Association, because you are the founder, correct?
Yes, I'm the founder of the Wyanoke Association, and we were established over 20 years ago. The name Wyanoke, believe it or not, means sassafras. And it was the name of a people who lived in the land of the sassafras in present-day Charles City.
Wow.
On both sides of the James River. And the reason we use the name is because our organization, we do research into African American, Native American history and culture and the connections between them. And we sing songs and tell stories of those various connections.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. And tell us about the uniforms. You did mention that they are pretty historically accurate. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, when the United States Colored Troops were first formed in 1863, they actually got hand-me-down uniforms and weapons that were not in the best repair. Some of the weapons actually had been confiscated from the Confederacy that they were given. And so these uniforms were actually donated to us by Superintendent Terry E. Brown
Fort
of
Monroe.
the National Park Service at Fort Monroe.
Great.
So that has been a great boon for us to actually look like
Yes.
the songs that we're singing about. You can find, you will be able to find them online at wyanoke.org,
Okay.
which is our website.
Okay, that would be great. And now let's get to the actual sound of the United States Colored Troupe, and I'm looking forward to that as our viewers. Thank you so much, Hugh, for being here.
So welcome, Celine. Thank
you.
you for having us.
And thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for the a cappella group that will be coming on just shortly.
The United States Colored Troupe Ensemble would like to sing a song, spiritual, and a song that was created by the Contraband at Fort Monroe. It's called the Song of the Contraband.
When Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell Pharaoh to let my people go. The Lord by Moses to Pharaoh said, oh, let my people go. If not, I'll smite your firstborn dead, then let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
No more shall they in bondage toil.
Oh, let my people go.
Let them come out with Egypt's spoil.
Oh, let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
Haste Moses till the sea you've crossed.
Oh, let my people go.
Pharaoh shall in the deep be lost.
Oh, let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
The sea before you shall divide.
Oh, let my people go.
You cross dry shod to the other side.
Oh, let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
They'll sink like lead to rise no more.
Oh, let my people go.
And you'll hear a shout from the other shore.
Oh, let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
The fiery cloud shall lead the way.
Oh, let my people go.
A light by night, a shade by day.
Oh, let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
The Jordan shall stand up like a wall.
Oh, let my people go.
And the walls of Jericho shall fall.
Oh, let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
Your foes shall not before you stand.
Oh, let my people go.
And you'll possess fair Canaan's land.
Oh, let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, away down to Egypt's land, and tell King Pharaoh to let my people go.
Our next selection is a song that was actually written by Stephen Foster. It's called Hard Times. And we think of this song being a song that the Contraband would have sung since they had reached asylum at Fort Monroe, but they knew that their brothers and sisters, in a lot of cases, were still enslaved.
Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears, while we all sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come
and gay. There are frail forms fainting at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. 'Tis a dirge that is murmured around the lowly grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Our final song that we would like to share with you is a song that was created by the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, was a United States Colored Troop Regiment. And it's called We Look Like Men of War.
We look like men, we look like men, we look like men of war. An army dressed in uniform, we look like men of war.
Oh, listen to the trumpet sound, they call for volunteers. King Jesus stands on common ground, and we shall have no fear.
We look like men, we look like men, we look like men of war. An army dressed in uniform, we look like men of war. We want no cowards in our band who from their colors fly. We call for valiant-hearted men who are not afraid to die. We look like men, we look like men, we look like men of war. An army dressed in a uniform, we like men of war.
It sets my eager heart aflame, a soldier now to be. I did enlist in Jesus' name to fight for liberty. We look like men, we look like men, we look like men of war. An army dressed in uniform, we look like men of war.
Oh, see our armies on parade, how mighty they appear. Let none but rebels be afraid, a battle song to hear.
We look like